So I'm currently a substitute teacher and a restaurant employee, as well as have ambitions toward building a YouTube channel. Both of my jobs are very flexible, which is nice. But on the flip side of that, I don't have a set schedule given to me that tells me when I'm going to work, how much I'm going to work, and therefore how much I'm going to earn. All of those decisions are now on my shoulders. And what I want to do in this video is I want to show you how I'm giving myself peace of mind by taking control of those questions, when I'm going to work, how much I'm going to work at my two jobs, in order to meet my goals, not just with respect to my expenses and what I need to, take care of, sort of like at bottom, but also toward my hopes and my ambitions toward building a YouTube channel. How do I make time not only to work the work that I need to work and earn the money immediately that I need to earn, but also reserve time toward, for me, it's my YouTube channel, those things that really matter to us long term. So let's take a look. All right, so we're going to start with my calendar here. You'll see this is November. It's the month that we're currently in. I'm recording this video on the 2nd, but this video I'm planning for the 9th, so you probably won't see it until then. I want to show you real briefly. I bought a calendar from Walmart 2025. This will make it a lot easier so I don't have to actually make the calendar every single month. I just can use this one. But they didn't have any available that included like the last 3 months of the current year in addition to the following year, like they do for journal type planners. And so I just had to get creative with the last 2 months of the year in order to get started. I didn't want to waste time, wait for the turn of the year in order to get started with this. So it's a little bit, it's like my own little version, which is, I just think it's kind of funny. There's a few different things going on here. You'll notice, first of all, that it's very simple. I don't have a ton of writing. I don't have a bunch of like clutter. Clutter for me is like absolutely not acceptable in any way, in any area of my life. And this is one of those. As simple as I can make it, Albert Einstein once said, things should be made as simple as possible, but not simpler. As simple as possible, just not simpler than that. So that's what I'm aiming for here. There's a few different things going on. The first thing I'll show you, or that I'll explain, is there are circles throughout the calendar. Every circle represents a work day. It represents a commitment. That day is a work day from roughly 7 in the morning to 3-ish in the afternoon. It doesn't have to be perfect, right? Because I'm working different types of jobs. But that represents a day that I'm committing to advancing myself toward my goals professionally by working a certain kind of work. The different colors of the two different circles, which I don't know if you can actually tell on the screen or not, but some of them are purple, some of them are green. Those represent different kinds of work days. So I'll start with purple. Purple represents, the majority of the month of November. Purple represents the days that I'm planning to substitute teach. And there's a couple of different constraints on that. One of them is, in answering the question, how much will I substitute teach? I can't say, I'll substitute teach 25 days of the month. That's not possible because you can't work, for example, you can't substitute on Saturdays because there's no school. I can't substitute on federal holidays because there's no school. And so even if I wanted to, I wouldn't be able to do that. That's a constraint that I'm now visibly aware of just getting it in front of me by making a simple calendar, which is, that's a very powerful thing, as simple as this practice is. That then, after considering my bottom line goals, what I absolutely need to earn in terms of the expenses that I have and how much I need to work at both my substitute teaching job and my restaurant job, which is not anywhere on the calendar. But after answering those two questions and having confidence that the amount of work that I'm giving or planning here will meet those needs, then I can ask myself now what's left over in remainder in order to commit to a different type of workday. These green circles here, and a couple of exceptions during the work weeks here and here, toward building my YouTube channel, toward building Mr. Crofts, the brand, my brand. And now finally, I have these red sideways triangles. The red sideways triangles for me they represent a video is due. So in building a YouTube channel, I'm planning every Saturday to post a new video in order to get myself in the habit. And every red triangle, this one, for example, on the day that I'm recording this video has already been posted. So I could check mark that off actually. And that's just to make it easy, simple and easy to see where I'm at in my planning and what work I need to do, part of the work that I need to do on my Mr. Crofts days. All right, so that was my calendar, but now how do I actually arrive at the numbers that I've arrived at for November, for the month of November? We'll start with Texas Roadhouse. I have 115 hours as my goal for November. Basically what I did was I looked at how many hours I actually worked last month for October. At the beginning of last month, I started recording my data. At the end of every shift, I get a little receipt. After I clock out, it tells me how many hours I worked. I take that number, I put it into an Airtable database, and it automatically does all these calculations and stuff for me, which, we'll get into that side of this channel soon enough, Lord willing. But 115 I gave myself that number because what I actually worked last month was something like 123 point something. And I figured 115 is a nice, even sounding number that's just shy of that, so that I have a little bit of a safeguard. But it, meets the goal that I am aiming for in total combined with my other ones. My other one, my 16 sub days, if you counted, you might not have counted, but when we were looking at the calendar, the amount of sub days available in November to work, if I worked every single one of them, is 17. So I figured, again, just same kind of thinking, give myself a little bit of a safeguard. 16 is just shy of that in case something happens, I have to take a sick day or, whatever, things happen. So those two together then, put together, is roughly 3,500, and that would be my goal for November. My preceding all of this, of course, was the question, what do I need to earn absolutely in order to meet my expenses? And that number is lower than this number. And so I'm content with aiming for this. And then between the 115 hours at Texas Roadhouse and the 16 days substituting, the next part of that equation, satisfied with that number that I'm aiming for, was how much room do I have then to spare, to commit and reserve for building Mr. Crofts? And that was roughly 7 days. So I'm aiming for 7 days across the month of November. Some of them I've already lined out. Others I haven't decided yet whether I'll make them, part of, like, maybe I'll work Thanksgiving Day until roughly 3 p.m. or whatever, when it's time to go do family dinner with my family, which we do every year. The day after Thanksgiving, I don't know if I'll feel up for it or not. Or, I'd rather take the day off to recover from the food coma that I'm expecting to have. So we'll see, but that's the goal. And however I go about making that happen, I now know these numbers will make the month work as far as taking care of what I need to take care of in the and leaving this amount of room for this other thing that I really care about.